What is up, ladies and germs? Welcome back for another video. Today, we have an episode of We Draft Paper, Winston edition, which, if you don't know Winston, it is a 1v1 draft format where you get 6 packs, shuffle them all up, then you make your 3 piles of 1 card, and then the rest of the cards off to the side. And then once you look at the first card. If you like it, you keep it and then replace the card off the deck. And then if you don't like it, you put it back, but put another card from the deck on top of it so you can formulate some piles. And this is meant to be a 1v1 format, and it's a great way to play paper draft without a large amount of people. And me and my buddy Lawson, we've been doing Winston's for quite a long time now. I think our total record is 12 and 11. I'm up 12. He's down 11. So we've been on this grind, and it's so much fun. But it's we have a lot of spice with it all. But that being said, I'm MTG Flux. If you guys like what we do here and the content that we provide, then please like, comment, and subscribe. I would take any and all feedback and or acknowledgement and or affection towards any direction from you all. It all helps the channel, and I appreciate you all very much. But let's get into rest of the video. All right, let's get in here. These are going to be the packs that we are drafting off of. We got 1 collector booster of Dungeons and Dragons, a set booster, 2 Lord of the Rings, and 2 Forgotten Realms. So we have thematically accrued Middle Earth into this Winston draft. So yeah. So I picked my first pile here, and it is Elven Chorus, and like rares are quite important in this and for power level. And I think like, well, in a 2-person draft, you're going to have a lot of basically like multicolored decks more often than not. That's what kind of hedged my first 2 picks here, because I will take the Heap Gate, understanding that it can just filter a mana source of any color that I choose. And having the Elven Chorus, which I ended up siding the Elven Chorus out for more or less a different combo and just based off the matchup. But this deck ended up being pretty sweet. I really did enjoy it. But yeah, I felt really good about where we were, and we just get a Saw Run, the Necromancer. So whenever he attacks, exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of this card, except it's a 3/3 black Wraith. And at the beginning of your next end step, exile that token unless Sauron is tempted by the ring. So with these 3 different sets that we're adding, Baldur's Gate has the Initiative, which is a mechanic that is very, very strong in 1v1 matches. It's meant for Commander and things like that. And I also think there's Monarch cards in the Baldur's Gate set as well, for the Commander cards in there. But before I get into the rest, we got Deck of Many Things from Forgotten Realms. And yeah, this card can be really good. There are some synergy pieces that we pick up with this. That's pretty awesome. So basically, return a card at random from your graveyard to your hand. You get to draw 2 cards, or put a creature card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So yeah, it's just like a nice value engine, but you roll a d20 and you minus the amount of cards in your hand. If it's 0 or less, then you discard your hand. So I was like, well, at the very least, this seems like a lot of fun. So let's just go in that direction. I had to hit it with a double read for sure. But so you have the Initiative, you have the Monarch, you have the Ring Tempts You. So like those are super powerful mechanics. And then so like a strategy just going into this, like here, Mirror Guardian, like whenever you dice, the ring tempts me. Pretty strong effect. And what the ring does when he tempts you, whenever you're tempted by the ring, you put that temptation on a creature you got, and you hit the first step, which it cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power. So it has evasion, so to speak. And then also the second temptation of the ring, you get whenever you attack with that creature that's tempted by the ring, you get to draw then discard on attack trigger. And then the third, a creature must block it if able. And then the fourth is whenever this creature deals damage to a player, deal 3 damage to that player. So like there's just some strong effects in there as well. This is the best card in my deck. Gut, the Soul Zealot. Whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, create a 4/1 black skeleton creature token with menace that's tapped and attacking. So, and I'm getting it early enough to where I'm just picking up cards that can also be great with that. So at this point, I'm like, I can roll with like Jund things going on. That being said, like Bag End Porter, like it's okay. It probably was good enough to play in this deck, but I was really glad that I passed up on that because Battlecry Goblin is 20 times better. That card is fantastic. I come to find out that he had one as well. I could have had 2 Battlecry Goblins if he wouldn't have cut that card off for me. But he snuffed me out to where he knew I was red something. And I was also cutting him off of green as well. So we have really strong mechanics in this set. So, and at this point, Gut is this is a nice little ring temps card. When it enters, the ring tempts you, and at the beginning of your end step of a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It's just nice little sizing card. Ends up, I never played it, but it did end up being more or less so just another ring tempting, and there was some synergies with that as well. So having just strong effects out there is the strong end of having all these 3 of these sets together. But on the other hand, there's commander cards that like are just kind of blank cards. They're just not good cards because they're unplayable. They require a commander to do something and so on and so forth. So feeling okay in this spot. I'm looking for initiative creatures. I probably should have took the you happen on a glade. This seems like a pretty strong effect. I really didn't know. Like I knew I was Jund things, and I think it was fair to do. I think it was more like just a agreed pick because at this point I'm red. You know, I have nothing to really keep me in green. At this point, Grazilax is pretty okay, but double blue is not quite the direction that we want to go to. So we flip that back. Wayfarer's Bauble. I will tell you, this card is the nuts with Gut. You don't crack your Wayfarer's Bauble. You keep it in play. Turn 3 Gut. Attack with a different creature. Sack the Bauble to Gut when you attack. And then make a 4/1 menace guy. So really, really strong. Shocking Grasp, not quite us. We're not looking at the blue stuff quite yet. I was interested in this Goblin Morningstar. I have 3 goblins now, and like the dice rolling thing is kind of makes some fun gameplay. And +1/+0 and has trample. It's not a bad effect neither. And if you roll well, you get to make a goblin and then attach it to it. So not bad. Equipments in like this kind of format can be pretty strong. So I'm still feeling Jundness. Grim Harvest, that's a nice pickup. Like that card probably was top 3 cards in this deck based off of how my games went. Or just performance alone is just really, really good. So I was happy to have Gut. He saw Gut too. Chose not to take it, but Gut won me all my games. Let me put it that way. I drew Gut super late in game 2. Well, I won't give up all the goodness. Galadriel Guide is not bad. I think that could have been a fine filler level card. Like this card, Tavern Brawler. It's just commander creatures you own have at the beginning of your upkeep, exile top card of your library. It gets +X/+0, and where X is the mana value, and you play that card this turn. But like, it's a background. Backgrounds are just strictly just for commanders, so it literally does nothing. So, Halcyon, Emerald, Archdruid. It's fine. I wasn't making too much tokens except for Gut in itself. I had maybe a little bit more token generation of any capacity. I probably would have decided to play it, but not quite. Owlbear. I remember playing Forgotten Realms, and Owlbear was just a really, really good card. Just being able to see more cards, and ETB draw a card, 4/4 trample is really strong. Even 4/5, I will say that it's just a strong card in this kind of format, because card selection is not like great. Like, your options are very at random. So yeah, feel good about that. Lothlorien Lookout. I remember in Lord of the Rings, the set, like, that was a nice 2-drop to have when the ring is tempted to you on your 1/3 that whenever you attack, you scry. So I was happy to pick up that kind of 2-drop here. So yeah, feeling good about where we're at this point. I mean, Gut is just like a banger card. The Deck of Many Things is more of a cute card. I don't think it makes my deck much better at all. However, if I get some rolling dice payoffs, because there are enough of them to consider in that set, or in Forgotten Realms, then like, we'll be glad that we got there. So I'm looking more like Gruul Beats instead of like Jund. But I do want to try to play the Sauron. Another Owlbear? Yes, sir. And I'll play the Druid as well. That was a nice pickup for me. 2-card pickup. He left the Owlbear. That was crazy. Owlbear is so good. And it's so on flavor for like our Dungeons and Dragons theme or our Middle Earth theme. This Owlbear, it seems good. Yeah, so not seeing any initiative things, but I'm reading all these cards, especially in the Baldur's Gate cards, to determine if that's the thing. Live On can be pretty good. I probably should have picked this up here, because Hill Giant would have just been good in this deck. I think that was a mistake not to pick that up, because I did have quite a bit of ramp going on in my deck. This is a card that I did not want to give him. Birthday Escape is a really efficient card, and the ring tempts you, just good. Scaled Nurture, pretty good in this deck. It's just more ramp. That Levon that we just saw a little bit ago was a dragon, so like, it could have gained a little life at some point, but not the biggest deal. Just but at the very least, it's a mana dork for green, so it does ramp. We were at our LGS, and we were looking at like different packs that we wanted to do. At first, I was like, how much mystery booster packs do you guys? Like, we're out. I'm like, oh, okay. So let's try to find something different. And we were looking at the wall of just all the different packs that they got. And then I was like, maybe we should do like a Prophecy, Apocalypse, Odyssey, kind of like 6-pack block, but that would have cost way too much money. Way too much money. They were $40 a pack, it seemed. The Yuan T Malison is a really good card. this ventures into the dungeon. Venturing into the dungeon is a nice mechanic as well. And so venturing into the dungeon, the initiative, and the ring tempting and monarch are like all four things that we're looking for. But I took it mainly because I'll just play Oliphant. Oliphant's a fantastic card, especially with I actually played 16 lands plus Oliphant, and understanding that I had good ramp in this deck too with my Wayfarer Bubble. And I think I have the Druid at this point, the 1 mana Druid that you can sack. It does the same thing as Wayfarer Bubble, but it gets a forest. But at any rate, having just those ramp things going on, and it seemed like there's also going to be times where I can just play Oliphant even if I'm playing 16 lands. So yeah, it was pretty good. This is the Neverwinter Dryad, so this is basically the Wayfarer Bauble on a stick, or on a creature rather. Skip on it now, but you see a pair of goblins kind of adds this, giving everything. So I knew that he was like in blue, so like I didn't want to pass him this card, just based off the cards that I was seeing that he didn't see first. But like, he wasn't in blue at the very beginning, but he ends up being in blue because he ends up getting most of the blue good stuff. He thought I was an Izzet, just based off his reads. So he thought I was blue-red. But you see a pair of goblins. I think it's just good enough here, just like an all-out attack. My deck provides some aggression, so, and it came up quite a bit of like, swing out, make your ugly blocks, and get ready for my trick. So, and plus it just makes some instant speed goblins that can ambush them on some blocks as well. What would have been the best card to pick up out of the Baldur's Gate would have been Minsc and Boo in this deck. If I had a Minsc and Boo in this deck, this would have been just like the best. Oh man, it would have been so good. Because I'm already in Gruul. I would not have probably splashed for black if I was in if I had a Minsc and Boo, or even another one of those Battlecry Goblins. I think that would have kind of kept me more narrow, and that would have been a super boost in consistency in this deck of what it's looking for. Battlecry Goblin is so good in Forgotten Realms. I remember drafting that quite a bit. I've always been a good fan of D&D as well. My family's kind of has a lot of build around it. Growing up playing a lot with my brothers and my dad. So the Middle Earth theme was really hit home for us. So felt good, felt fun. All right. So we are Gruul beats. I am still looking for like trinket things. Like Wayfarer's Bauble was an amazing pickup, but also cheap creatures will suffice for me too. Something I can get down and pitch to gut. But yeah, like this is a good spot. So I see the Storm King's Thunder, right? I wanted to take this now because I had a feeling, I didn't know if he was splashing for red or anything. He ended up not being. But I'm like, I feel like the cards I was passing was like more or less spells and things. But I was like, no, he can't be red. I'm going to let that fade one more time. Instead, I get this Fiery Inscription. Whenever I played this Lord of the Rings set in Limited, I loved that card. So real quick, I'm doing just like a spell check to see instants and sorceries that are going on, and I don't have very many. But this Grim Harvest, which is a Cold Snap card, by the way, it was on the list since it was a set booster. This being able to recur back into my hand with its second ability, which is Recover or something like that. And then when a creature dies, you can tap 3 and put the Harvest back in your hand. So, at any rate, I'm looking at that. So, but I also think that just the ring tempting is enough good that we can consider this as well. And plus, there's a lot of fine, cheap red spells, and with the Goblin Maker, or we come to a pair of goblins, or whatever that card's called, like is going to be really, really good with that as well. So we take that. That was more or less. I didn't want him to have it, but his deck ended up being more of a like a legendary creatures matters kind of deck, which ended up being really good. He had Samwise Gamgee, the uncommon Selesnya creature. That actually was a huge problem. It basically, yeah, that card I had to figure out how to deal with. Biggest problem with my deck right now is that I don't have much of removal. So we have green beats, but like no real ways to get rid of any problems that they got. So we're just looking like a straightforward value slash, creature deck. So it was fun. We had some of our the people that work at the LGS, they were peeking at what we were doing. And it's always fun to kind of like tell them the story about where we're at. This is a fine place to pick this up because Earth Tremor ended up being my only removal spell in this whole pack. Like, it was so important to have in this deck. And it was effective in all ways. Like, I think I played it, and we played 3 games, best of 3. But we got there, and yeah, like, it ended up taking care of the problem every single time. That damn Samwise Gamgee, annoying. Lawson loves a good old fashioned 5-color pile too, and he was very linear. He's like, man, I would have been just 2 colors if you weren't cut me off on green. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, you can't put that on me. This isn't fun. This is a great pack for us. All right, Goblin Fire Leaper, really good. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to target a creature an opponent controls, and it has kind of like fire breathing. But Will has synergies with the Deck of Many Things, because whenever you roll a dice, you roll another one, and you use the highest roll of that. And then whenever you do roll 1 or more dice, you get a +1/+1 counter. So I actually think how that will is worded, Font of Magic is just unplayable. It just does nothing. Yeah, it does nothing at all. It's a cost reduction for instances of sorceries based on how many times you played your commander. Anyway, but it costs, but will actually, since you roll 1 or more dice, I think that meant like 2 dice at once or something like that. But you get 2 rolls, so I actually think you get 2 +1/+1 counters. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Like the card. Had some synergies, and it also goes with the Goblin Morningstar, that equipment that I have. +1/+0 makes a goblin and trample or whatever. So getting counters on that is really strong as well. So yeah, I think I was playing Will wrong because I only gave it 1 counter each time, even though I think there were 2 separate rolls. So I would get a +1/+1 counter, then another one on the second roll. Golem is nice little ring temps you pay off here. Some sack it, bring it back kind of thing. So if I'm really trying to push for getting my ring tempting maxed all the way out, there's some play there. I'm really in the spot where I don't know if I'm playing black or not, but this was kind of a decision made, and it was a pack of 3 cards. It's good sometimes just to take the stack of cards that are the most, as it's just the like making sure you have your playables and things like that. And we got another Levon here, which is just fine. I got non-creature spells. It can attack for as a normal 3/3 or 4/3 every now and then. And that is that. Here's the deck list that we have, and yeah, this deck is pretty sweet. Got a kind of goblin synergies, but we're kind of just Gruul beats with some top end with Sauron, Oliphant, double Owlbear, but we just have some aggression and recursion going on. Deck's pretty good. Let's get into the gameplay. All right. So we always have the rule: whoever wins the die roll to pick first in the drafting part gets to play first, or gets to be on the draw for the gameplay. So since he picked first, I will be on the play this first game. So not bad. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. I mean, I really enjoy these Winston drafts because you get to use your own creativity. I mean, we're talking about our next Winston draft to be able to do a New York City block with, you have Spider-Man, you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then we can even kind of do like New Capenna, and if we do it before the Marvel set comes out, because the Marvel set would just kind of enclose that cycle. So there's things that we can do. We're starting off over here with a Wayfarer's Bubble. Great way to start. No gut in my opening hand. Boo. Yeah, so there was a couple times where we had to stop and look up the Ring Tempts You rules, and we didn't have like the little card that it usually comes with in the packs. And it's usually I for whatever reason I thought I was always in all the packs of the Ring Tempts You. So there was some rule things that we had to like line up. He even had to like write them all out to be able to remind us what's going on. So yeah. Deciding if I want to crack the bauble or wait and just curve out with a 3-drop. So nothing bad here, just kind of getting my ramp on, living my best life. All my lands were in the bottom of my deck, so hopefully it didn't. I'm glad that I didn't, because it probably would have ended up being a little bit of mana screw as we moved along that game if I didn't crack that bubble. And this is where Samwise Gamgee gets me. Super annoying. Looking for Toads. We all try to figure out what we're going to do with all this. I have the yellowish dice in that little box is has Lord of the Ring, like the One Ring and all those like in there. So we're just using that as our ring tempting cursors. But we go full in on basically determining, like, we have to get the rules down. So that's another part of like why it's so much fun with doing these Winston drafts on like random sets, because there's a lot of mechanics that you haven't seen and stuff like that before. And it adds spice. I usually go like pretty ham on like try to do flavor things well with trying to make sure like the themes and things kind of like at least kind of line up. But I do really have a fond appreciation for straight up chaos, and just like that's why I like the mystery, adding mystery boosters to all my things. So that seems pretty good. We get some cool synergy in this turn. So we play Will. Remember that doubles dice rolling, and then we play the Morning Star. So we get to roll it twice and just make sure we get a good roll here. So we end up making a 1/1 goblin and attaching the equipment to it. And then Will also gets a +1/+1 counter. Remember what I said earlier. I think he gets actually a +1/+1 counter and then another +1/+1 counter. So that didn't work out as well as we thought so, neither. But still, making it to a 2-2 seems just fine for me. I'm clapping as we I'm like, look at the synergies. We're doing it. We have synergies in a chaos Winston deck. It's so bad, so terrible. Yeah, and that was right when one of the people that worked there, hanging out with us, always checking in on us. He just seeing what we're doing, and he walked in right in like, yes, 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 yes. So I feel good about this spot, especially cracking that Wayfarer's Bauble. Give me a little ramp was super nice, and yeah, not terrible. Samwise Gamgee does get tempted by the ring on ETB, or you get the ring tempts you, so you get to choose what creature you want it on. And then he also has text that says whenever you play a legendary creature, the ring tempts you. So he does have like a lot of legendary creatures in his deck to kind of support the Samwise Gamgee gameplay, which is really good for him. And creatures must be blocked by Samwise. I forget the name of that card, but it's just kind of like a commander card. But it is legendary, and that means Samwise gets tempted again. So whenever it attacks now, that it's going to get you're going to be able to draw and discard a card. Luckily, both my creatures' power is 2, so I don't have to block Samwise at this point. I can block with my, actually blocking it would be fine, but ultimately there's, oh yeah, so I think earlier I said with the ring tempts you, the third mode is whenever a creature blocks a tempted creature, you have to sacrifice it at the end of combat or something like that. Instead of it has to block. Samwise Gamgee reads that it needs to be blocked if able. So when you get to that third mode, like they're all suiciding creatures there. All right. This game was kind of a ball buster. Like I needed a second green for Owlbear, but I still had things to do. If I would have got an Owlbear like early, it would have been really nice for me. So I was considering putting the flail on Will, but that didn't seem too great for me. So in the meantime, I played the Levon just as a 1/3. There are instances where I can cast a non-creature spell to give it +2/+0 if I have those spells. After I commit my blocks to Samwise. Well, at the very least, I'm just preventing me from getting bopped 1 damage at a time from Samwise. So I'm considering my second play. I think I have a 2-drop of some capacity in hand, but I'm holding out in case a creature dies because I think I have the Cold Snap card, that recursion spell, which ends up being really good. So he plays this Boulder's Gate card that basically he can give me one of his creatures and put 2/+1/+1 counters on it, and it's goated. But whenever that creature attacks with those counters on it, like he gets to draw 2 cards or something like that. So it's kind of like, well, thanks for the creature, but like he gets some card advantage out of it, but that doesn't seem great in this spot. Like, yeah, please give me Samwise. Samwise Gamgee. A fool of a took. So we're kind of at a stall out stage. Like I had the little synergy turn with the Morning Star and then Will, but like I got nothing else really going on after that. just kind of like hanging out. And but yeah, I mean, I just need like to get this owlbear down, draw a card, kind of keep things rolling out after that. So he's just getting free loots. I mean, I'm pretty sure he draws like 6 or 7 cards off of Samwise just freely attacking in. Block with Levon. Lawson loves a good old-fashioned slow play. I'm showing that Cold Snap card in case I could cast it. I asked, I was like, I don't even think I can cast it because there's no creature in the graveyard. But yeah, seems fine. I could have cast it at the end of turn, but didn't really need to. We play the 4/2 creature that whenever it dies, the ring tempts me. So maybe I can get my ring tempting on. So 4/2, good body. Maybe can start. I would even offer some trades, especially since I get value off of it dying as well and trading with something. I would trade probably with any of their creatures at this point. So, not very invigorating gameplay at this spot. I mean, this is kind of what these Winston decks will do. There's a lot of game action, or less like crazy game action, but more or less like how are you attacking and how are you blocking. Those are kind of very important parts of limited anyways. That's a 1/3 creature that can tap 8 mana to draw 2 cards, just like a late game mana sink, as he has 3 lands that he's pitched away on drawing 3 cards already. His card selection was just so good. So we bring back our friend, our Levon, and then also he's reading it up because if a creature goes to the graveyard, I can just tap 3 black mana and put that recursion spell back in my hand. So, or that Raise Dead. So, seems pretty good. Hit another land here on 6 lands. So I think we just want to play Levon here and leave up the Cold Snap card just for value. Like if we're not taking a bunch of damage, like we're kind of chilling. We're doing all right. And Levon is, you get +X+O whenever you cast a non-creature spell. X is that non-creature's mana value. So there is some play to like keeping it up instant speed and so on. But we're going to smash in with our 4/2. We decide to throw together some trades. And I bring back the Cold Snap card. Ring tempts me. So we put the temptation on the goblin in case I want to move this Morningstar around. I really don't though, because like Samwise is required to be blocked at this point, and whenever a creature blocks it, I can't even block it safely anymore because of you have to sacrifice the creature. I do kind of have a loop going with this Cold Snap Grave Dead card. Just because like I'm blocking, it dies, I bring it back, and so on and so forth. So there is a little bit of a loop, and he plays like a little ramp spell, put 2 lands into his hand. But that's a card I was considering earlier, but not really needed. I don't think it was that important. He needed it more than I did, so I guess I could, since he's playing 4 colors, I mean, that could have been more of a reason to take it because cut him off of fixing options. Granted, he's basically there where he needs to be at this point of the game. So, he plays the Hill Giant, so that sucks. He makes, not this turn, but the following turn, he makes like a pretty big attack, and I go in for some real blocks. Yeah, he's drawn so many cards. At this point, he's drawn 5 cards off being tempted by the ring. Or 4 or 5. We got our second forest, so Owlbear is live. I do have the Cold Snap Recursion spell in hand, so we can do both. Owlbear. Yeah, so being able to draw a card and kind of keep things flowing is nice, but he's getting to a point where this Samwise is becoming a problem because once he gets tempted one more time, he's going to be able to. Oh yeah, we drew Golem, which is a nice draw. But yeah, whenever he gets tempted one more time, he's going to be starting to bolt my face every time, and that's not going to be great. Not great at all. Lawson, I would not call the quickest player of all time. But he's always up to something, so he's a very thoughtful player in all of his gameplay. And then he's just going to search up I think a legendary creature or something off this spell. And the ring tempts him. So that's cool. So he's on 4 now. And I don't even have any blocks, so I'm getting bolted in the face for sure on this turn. His synergies were going pretty well. Samwise really just put a number on me this game. Yeah, so Goblins, of all the stuff I have going on, like I don't have good creatures out. Granted, I don't think he really does outside of Samwise at this point. I mean, guess Hill Giant does its job. You gain 3 life. It's a 7/6. Deal with it kind of thing. So we have that going on for us. But I will say that I don't like our cards aren't good. I did feel good about the Owlbear, which is a good body for combat purposes, but so he's gonna want to get in with a good old Samwise. I get bolted in the face. And no blocks to be had, nothing to block. He loots, puts away a little 2/4 creature that makes tokens into 4/4 bears or whatever. He has no tokens, so feel just fine about that. And that is it's a rare vehicle. It's a 6/6 trampler, crew 4. And then if it was crewed by 2 or more creatures, then whenever this vehicle deals damage to a player, you draw 2 cards. So honestly, you could just trade with things, and if even a little bit of trample damage gets through, then he's drawing cards. So he's setting up a big attack for next turn for sure. This was an interesting block sequence that I have next turn, just because I know he's coming in. So like my thoughts right now is like, all right, how am I looking to block? I only have 1 removal spell in this deck, and it's just not enough. So how do I want to go about it? We're going to move over this guy so I can block the Samwise if need be. And we're going to swing out. This was an interesting attack. Actually forgot about this attack, but I drew the Goblin. What's it's called? It's all creatures get +2/+0. So he's going to make some blocks here. I do think that you kind of have to block here. Pretty sure he's maybe at 15 or something like that at this spot. So he's going to make he double crews and blocks with that. And the Golem being a 4/1, now that I put the Morningstar on it, is really good. Like, I guess the only good blocks he would be Eat My Will. And he cannot block my 1/1. So I'm pretty sure he just needs to make these blocks, which seems just fine. When Golem dies, then... Yeah, when Golem dies, the ring tempts me again, so I'll be able to put that on my Golem. So we're getting in for 7 at this spot. Seems pretty good. And then we're just trading up. Still doesn't feel great that they still have Samwise, but the 2 biggest threats on the board are taken care of. I mean, biggest, I mean in actual sizing. Samwise is the big problem here. So he's going to get an attack back in for 3, 4, 5. And then bolt my face. So ultimately, a swing of 8 is not good for the home team. He's just had so much card selection. I'm pretty sure he has 4 or 5 cards still in his hand, so... Well, maybe not that many, but 3 or 4 cards. That matters when I have 1. And I kind of threw my little Hail Mary. If he wouldn't have blocked, taking another 12 damage, 12 plus 7... Wow, I mean, that would have been 19 damage coming through if he just chose no blocks. That would have been great. He had a 2/1 flyer. So that would have done a couple different things. If he was at 20, I don't recall his life total. He was at 20, then he would have... I don't think he was at 20, though. I think that would have been lethal if he would have just not blocked. I think I had some damage in earlier. I can't remember. But even if he was... Let's say he was at 2. He attacked with both. It hit me down a little bit more, so like that happened. He chose to bounce his 1/3, which I don't know if that was right. So also very interesting. But that means I would have had let's say a 3/2 trampler and a 1/1 can't be blocked by anything. That's saying if he didn't block anything. He chose no blocks, went on from there. He would have attacked me for a lot more back. That is for damn sure. I'm pretty sure he had some damage on him. But just think different scenarios for different life totals and stuff like that. Yep. Not our best spot here. But also not our worst. We're able to get in 7 damage, which wasn't nothing. And then he played, yeah, it's a 2/1 flyer that basically he can pay 1 life to bounce that creature, I think. So let's get in here. I do enjoy the theme. I think having like a medieval or Middle Earth or high fantasy theme was pretty fun. We've had ideas for like different themes as well, like Kamigawa, different blocks and things like that. We've had Mystery Booster 2 or like core sets like with Foundations, Mystery Booster, and a core set. We've done that before. Had a lot of different cool ones. Not the greatest spot in the world, though. We are not looking so hot on this game. And this game is taking forever. So I do apologize about that. I don't claim to be a very fast player neither. But, like, when push comes to shove, whatever time is an issue, I'm usually substantially faster, especially on like basic sets and stuff like that. Like Ninja Turtles, I find myself just flying through games on sometimes, and that's not even necessarily true. Like there's a lot of mid-range battles or games that just go forever, but that's what happens sometimes. But I want to say that like I'm a super fast player, but I turn it up every now and then of just like pace of play. But I'm also very patient at the table too. If someone is taking a long time, like that sucks. But when they're sandbagging, we finally take care of the Samwise, so we got that going for us. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead though, and I'm just trying to find cards to kind of keep me alive. But my 1 removal spell takes out Samwise, can't block it profitably, so that sucks. But yeah, I'm not like a super fast, but I flip it on, and I hate it when people milk clock. I've had matches where people are intentionally slow playing, and it's casual, like it's a lot of times in like pre-releases. I'm like, dude, like don't slow roll me. Like the fact that we're gonna tie is not good for our breakers anyway. So like, what are we doing? So you're just going to, intentionally play slow, just so I don't win. Like I hate that. That tilts me. The only time I'm forgiving in that is like, especially with new players. Like new players are just going to take a long time, and it's good to not take that away from them. You know what I mean? Pretty sure we're about to pack it up here and go into game 2. I think I have a last ditch effort. Owlbear, draw a card. Owlbear, draw a card, scoop him. Because I am at 3, and then he has a 3/2 flyer with that equipment attached to it. So, yep, let's get into the next game. Alright, let's get into game 2 here. Had a little token stuck in my deck. Hate it when that happens. Hand seems really good. Pretty sure I'm on 2 lands with the Dryad. Being able to sack it for another land is going to be pretty nice. Get my ramping on. And he has a little short sword that basically whenever it becomes blocked or does blocking, target creature loses abilities till end of turn. So pretty strong. Turn 2, and we have our little goblin guy. So this card, like when it's a 1/1, 2 mana 1/1, and when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature. And he just played a Samwise on me, so that sucks. So my thinking is just got to go faster. Just turn 2, Samwise. Damn you. It is I mean, I know he picked it up early, and I didn't see much white coming around at all, so. But since Samwise has to be blocked, I can fade a turn and sacrifice the Dryad after I commit blocks, which is pretty nice. But when he equips that short sword to that, like both, like my creature loses its abilities. So like the goblin's no good, even if I hold up pumping it, because I can't deal that last bit of damage to it when it dies, because it lost its abilities the moment it blocked that creature. So just navigating, like, where should I do this? I mean, the answer is definitely just keep the Dryad, sack the Dryad, get ramp, have bigger, better things to do. So. He has Bant-Tron already. So he plays the 1/3 that tap 8 and draw 2 as its mana sink. He equips sword. He attacks. Dryad. Sack Dryad. I go for a forest instead of swamp. Oh, that's the only thing that that Dryad can grab. It can't grab any basic. It has to grab a forest. Player filtering land, so we kind of have black for us. No gate synergies I can really play around. He is cut off on black, so I did ramp, however, so I don't think he missed a land drop at this point. So I can double pump the goblin, which is because I can filter and add a red. I chose not to do it because I think we play Levon. Yes, and Levon just blocks. Levon just blocks Samwise freely, so. Get in there. He plays the 6/6 vehicle, which he can currently technically crew because he has to crew with one creature, attach the equipment to the next creature, then crew that creature, and that would do it. But we get Black Source here. Seems good. And then we play Oliphant. Oliphant was just great in this deck. For a second, I thought that it was an ETB a trigger where it gets +2/+0 and trample, but that is only on when Oliphant itself attacks. Oliphant has a big old 6/4 trampler. It's not a bad place to be. I thought he was attacking, but he was definitely crewing. I'm like, snap block, snap block. So I have the Cold Snap Grave card in my hand, so I'm completely cool with blocking here. But he does attach the short sword to it. So he goes to attacks, and I will just double block with my 1/3 and 6/4, which that'll soak up all 7 damage. I lose both my creatures. He put in a lot of work just to not be able to get in for any and draw any cards. So feeling just fine about that. Board looks good for him. However, like, I'm feeling in a fine spot, especially with my recursion spell. He's like, I hope he doesn't have the Cold Snap card. I was like, I do. We're going to cast it on Oliphant. Pass the turn. So he is still on the first. He's still on the first ring tempting. So, like, I know my goblin's just going to go away, but I'm just going to be able to, when it goes away, I'm going to be able to get my Cold Snap card back. Yep, it loses all abilities, dies, goes away. And then when that goes away, I'm able to get my Cold Snap card back. I love, like, the wild things that you can get off the list and, like, doing set boosters. It's so much fun. Being able to, like, just have, like, what the hell cards, like, this doesn't belong here. Oliphant. So we just leave this up past the turn, and then we got to start getting in damage here soon. But swinging for 6 is no slouch. Yeah, he's missing land drops. He's cut off on black. I mean, he even just messaged me a little bit ago. It's like, I'm not going to play 4 colors anymore. I'm either going to play 3 or 5. I'm like, yeah, I get that. He plays Rivendell, is able to scry whenever, so. Passing the turn. Love seeing that. So, as we try to beat down his face, and I decide what I would like to do here. Definitely looking to. I mean, if it's removal spell, we're just snap getting rid of. So we're just going to go to combat first. And then I believe he's just going to take it. There's no profitable blocks here. No even double trading. You got Wayfarer's Bauble. There was a choice to be able to sack Wayfarer's Bauble and ramp more and thin out the deck. But I know that a card named Gut is in my deck. So I will look to play that. We're going to cast that. Bring back, I think, the Levon. And I do not think I cast it because I want to leave up bringing it back. Oh, maybe I do. Yeah, I think I do. It just freely blocks Samwise, and that seems fine. Then we also play Will. Just a naked Will. And he's going to draw 2, or scry 2, off of Rivendell. As he thinks about his long journey to deal with my Oliphant, I'm going to put them both on the bottom. We got draw, hit a land, still no black. See what he wants to do here. Attacks are not really favorable for him. I mean, I would have to just straight up chump block with Will if he chose to. He is going to play. I don't know. I think. I don't even know what that is. No, I don't have to just jump with Will. Or do I? Maybe. I don't know. I think. Unsure. I think it's just a medium-sized creature for that. Like a. It's like a. I mean, I guess he played 5. He played 6 mana for it. Is that a hill giant? I don't think it is. It doesn't look like a hill giant. But now we drew gut, baby. So life is good. This is where we get aggressive. And he thought I was saying gut, or he thought I was saying go, but I said gut. So, like, no. We're not skipping attacks here. So, I'd like for you to take this. So, we're going to swing like this, and then sack the bauble, the Wayfarer's Bauble, to make a 4/1 black skeleton with menace. So that, stacking the triggers the way that we do, we're going to put the +2/+0 and trample onto the skeleton. And then he's just going to trade with the Oliphant. And then when that goes away, we're going to bring back our Cold Snap card. Get back down to business. Gut, baby. Gut's going to put us there. He's going to let us pass the finish line. Game 3. I saw that gut. I was just snap keeping. I just know how good that card is. And you guys saw the deck earlier. There's like a lot of 2-drops and things that can like would love to just attack into things. Play Lizelle. The ring tempts him once more, putting him finally on 2. So he can do some looting if he'd like. But if he has nothing here, he is dead on. He needs to not attack here. If he doesn't attack here, then but I have a play to, like, I need something to sack. So I need to play something, sack that something, and then get in there. But I think he's just, because he's down to 4, and he needs to attack into something. But the thing is, I have to block here. But I also have my recursion spell just to bring back gut, play 2-drop, carry on. So we're going to bring back gut. We're going to play gut. We're going to go to combat and then sack the Levon. Make it into another 4/1 menace creature guy. So, yep, that's that. And we'll go into the game 3. All right, as we get into game 3, feeling good. Was able to get that one off him. I'm just asking for no Samwise on turn 2. Hell, he could play it later for all I care. It's just like he gets so much value when he gets it early, because any other legendary creature is just super great for him. So we're going to turn 1, wait for a bauble here. No Samwise. So he plays, I think it's weapons something, where ETBs makes a treasure, and then when he equips it to a creature, it cannot be blocked by creatures 4 or 3 or greater. So it's just some evasion equipment. So we're just going to get our Wayfarer and get our ramp on. And he ramps into his, this is that Boulder's Gate legendary creature, Demir legendary creature that he can give me one of his creatures, but it's goaded, but it also has 2+1/+1 counters on it. I think he's just playing the card because it's a legendary creature, adding to his deal. So we ramp to 4, which is nice. And we're going to play the Dryad. Considering changing my mind, but it is not the right play. And then we will play our Fiery Inscription. So I sided this in taking out the Elven whatever that basically looks at the top card of your library. You can play creatures from the top. It's a 4-mana clunky spell instead of Fiery Inscription, because I'm thinking about my old Cold Snap card. Every game that I played it, I'm just recurring it back and forth, which is just imagining just dealing 2 damage, dealing 2 damage, dealing 2 damage. Seemed pretty good, and I was able to tempt the ring off it as well and put my Dryad in a spot. Granted, I wasn't completely looking. I do need that second forest, but I think I have things to do before I want to get to that point. Lawson's showing off his grip of all lands. So he's flooding out pretty hard. He definitely should have mulliganed that hand, I believe. Because if these are his only 2 playable cards, like I don't think that's just a keep. I mean, yeah, the ramp into it on turn 3 is pretty nice, but turn 2, your equipment, turn 3, your 4-drop, it's not a bad play. I mean, yeah, I guess you're expecting to draw something other than land, so. But we play Sauron. Oh, he actually has the answer. I forgot. He he drafted Power Word Kill. And I was like, what? That is like the best removal in this like array of sets that we're playing. Power Word Kill is really, really good. I think he actually draws it here. I don't think he had it in his hand. But yeah, pretty strong play there. Yep, he drew it. It's like, ooh, hoo, hoo. He does this little, ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. So, it's an easy bye-bye Sauron. Like, it's just a snap spell. Yep, it's like an avatar, whatever. It's not like a dragon or devil or any of that stuff. Take 3. Got me down to 14. Attaches his equipment. But we got plays. We cool. So, understanding that he's flooding out, I just took care of his creature. And then we play our Elven guy, that 1/3, whenever it attacks, it scries 1. So, seems like a nice thing to be doing on whenever I'm able to get some free attacks in. I would much rather my ring be tempted on that than my Dryad, but it's okay. We'll get there. As we're moving along, Fiery Inscription, really good. Love that card. Whenever Lord of the Rings was out, I was just playing that card so hard. Just forcing those decks. They weren't even like the best decks, but like there's just that's my favorite kind of stuff to do. Just draining, pinging, and just for getting value and things like that. And we play Will, a naked Will. I think I do have. I'm sitting on Owlbear in my hand, but I don't really want to sack the Dryad quite yet. I mean, I don't know what I think I am leaving up mana for something here though. He plays the birthday party or whatever. The ring tempts him, and then draws a card. And we were contemplating, do you need a creature for the ring to tempt you? And the answer is no. You just move it up, but you can't tempt a creature, obviously. But it does just move up, like to the next stage. And that was his first temptation, so he will just be on ring tempted 1 without having a creature being tempted by it. Sitting on 1 card in hand as I windmill slam it over and over and over again. I think I do sack the Dryad. Pretty sure. He plays a 2/4, so that's not nothing. Attaches his equipment. Back to our turn. Got our fixing land. So we held out. It is a filter land, so Owlbear is going to cost 6. So draw a card. Got no real attacks here. Well, I guess I can attack with my Dryad. Oh, I guess I can get my Scry on too because it's a 2/4, so it doesn't block profitably. I think it is another Owlbear. I don't remember what the Scry was, but yeah, not bad stuff here so far. Pretty sure he's showing off his grip of lands. He does this too. He has all 3 lands in hand, as I see. He just like stalls it out. All right. We attack all. Almost all. No will. Keep it on top. So we're just going to take 5. Now we're starting to get some chunk of damage in, which is nice. Owlbear number 2. I think he draws a creature, plays it, and then I think let's see. Oh yeah, he plays the dragon, the white dragon or whatever that stuns something. 6 mana, 4/4 dragon, fire breathing, or not fire breathing. Put a stun counter on, tap down a creature, put a stun counter on it. But we are feeling just fine based off what I ripped off the top. All right. Oh no, this is not gut. This is funny. So we play Battlecry Goblins, or the Goblins Battle or whatever, and we play the Morning Star. So we get 2 rolls. We got our rolls. So Will should have got 2 counters, but I only got 1 because I wasn't playing it correctly. And then we get our goblin, and then we're just gonna pump and go to the moon. Boom, boom. We attack like lunatics. Lunatics. Yes, sir. All right. So this is our Winston experience. I know the gameplay is a little slow. That being said, I try to chop it up a little bit for us. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I hope this brings some instillment of inspiring urge to go play some paper draft of any capacity. That's why Winston's so great. You don't have to have a big group of people to do it. You could just grab one of your buddies. Like, that's it. And that's all there is to it. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. We will catch you guys all in the next video. But thanks for watching We Draft Paper, Winston edition. So we'll catch you guys in the next video.